Welcome to October. This is Barnstable Today for Wednesday, October 1st. Hello once again. I'm Mark Mumford.
A resignation from the school committee is our lead story today. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kevin Friel.
The school committee is losing one of its most seasoned voices.
And to begin this evening, Mrs. Dandridge has requested to make an announcement.
Good evening, everybody. With some sadness, actually, I'm resigning from the school committee. It's been quite an interesting experience altogether, but it's time for me to move on.
Schools, or at least one former town school, was also a topic at yesterday's town council news conference.
The subject came up in the form of a question directed to town manager John Klim by Barnstable Patriot editor David Still.
Just a question for the town manager. If he could provide an update on where the Osterville Bay bidding process is.
We have not notified, but will be shortly, the one bidder of our final decision. There's been a lot of inquiry made of the development, but as you know, the proposal that we received was certainly not one that was expected in terms of the or hoped for, I should say, in terms of the provisions. And so we are working on looking at some other options. I suspect we'll make a final decision very shortly and then notify the bidder and then move on from there. It's a much more problematic site than others. For example, the Grade 5, where we had two very compelling proposals. This parcel is limited in terms of the land area. There is a community desire to keep the community building and keep the field, and that limits the possibility.
The town council will be back in session right here in Town Hall tomorrow evening, and Assistant Town Manager Tom Lynch dropped by to give us a bit of a preview.
Well, we'd like to thank Tom for coming and joining us again on Barnstable Today. He's going to catch us up to speed on all that's going on in this week's town council meeting and agenda. Tom, a couple presentations kick off this week's town council. Why don't you tell us about those?
Yes, the council president and the council will be accepting a Hockey Boosters donation of $10,000 for the Hyannis Youth and Community Center, so we're excited about that donation. The Jane Eschbach Award annual presentation will be made. And then third, David Anthony from our green team will be informing the council that the town of Barnstable has won a Leading by Example Award, which is presented by the Secretary of Environmental Affairs and Energy, and he'll be accepting that at a State House ceremony on October 2nd, and then the same night coming down and telling the council all about it. So we're excited about that.
And as far as the agenda goes, getting more deeply into it, the first item that kind of comes before the council is the Ruth Russia Trust. Could you catch us up to speed on what happened last time and what's going to happen this time?
There was a public hearing. There was quite a bit of testimony, both pro and con. There are some that believe a hostel in downtown Hyannis will be appropriate and be a niche market for a certain type of traveler. There are others who think that it should be located somewhere else, but the proponents have been very good about working with the opponents and trying to see if they can come to a compromise situation. So this again authorizes, the regulatory agreement authorizes the town manager to move forward with it. So last time there was a vote to postpone. There were a couple of members who weren't there, and they felt that this is something that the full council should vote on. So there could be action at the council meeting, but as I say, since both sides have been willing to talk about this, if they decide they want to have further discussions, that might be in the offering too.
There's also community preservation funds that are being used potentially by the Housing Assistance Corporation to buy down the cost of some housing units. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, the Community Preservation Committee will be making a presentation to us, probably along with HAC, explaining how they would use $250,000 to help low-income home buyers pay for a down payment and then to bring those homes onto the tax roll. So whether they're targeting foreclosure properties or just properties whose prices come down to be within the range of some low-income home buyers. This is a program that's worked in other communities, and we'll see what their presentation is like and how the council feels about that.
For all you history buffs out there, there's a proposal to use community preservation, historic preservation money to preserve the Barnstable Town Record. Is that right?
Yes, the original volume of the town record that is right now kept under, safely with the town clerk, and Evan Johnson has been pushing to get it digitally reproduced and to make it available in libraries and in southeastern Massachusetts, so citizens could have access to the earliest of our files that we have on record. So hopefully that will be adopted by the town council.
And an interesting thing that the town council is looking at right now is whether or not to adopt Massachusetts Chapter 59, the property tax work-off abatement program.
This has been on the agenda for a couple of weeks, and we'll have a formal presentation on it on October 2nd. And we've actually been getting some calls by some citizens who have heard about it. It would provide for a certain number of seniors who want to volunteer to work off up to $750 of their property tax. You'd only be able to do this, 1 year. It wouldn't be in consecutive years. The income ranges seem to be $30,000 or less for a single family and household, and then for two or more, it'd be $40,000 in income. So there seems to be interest in this. It's a way for some seniors who want to volunteer and contribute to the town to also, help with the tax burden. Once this is adopted by the town council, then the town manager would work with the Friends of the Council on Aging and others that have proposed this to implement it.
And one last agenda item coming up on Thursday night is the FEMA Homeland Security Port Security Grant that was received by Community Services.
Yes, I'm sure that Lynn Poyon will be there as the director, but also Dan Horn, the harbor master, to explain that we were one of 7 communities that got this $90,000 grant. There's a $30,000 match, and it's all built around the federal government trying to make sure that its various ports have the proper vessels to be able to respond in the case of an emergency.
Sounds like a pretty exciting town council meeting coming up.
I think there'll be lots of people to watch and enjoy and follow town government.
Should be interesting. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much, Kevin.
All right, it looks as if October is bringing us some promising weather once we get past this latest batch of showers. Tonight, mostly cloudy with the possibility of a random shower or two passing through, lows in the mid-50s. Then tomorrow we should get any lingering showers out of here in the morning, then increasing sunshine with stiffening winds out of the west and highs in the mid-60s. Then it looks as if we're in for a string of terrific weather at least through the weekend.
It's been a busy week for meetings here in town. That continues this evening with the Zoning Board of Appeals getting underway in the hearing room at 7. And at the same time, it's the Hyannis Main Street Waterfront Historic District Commission meeting in the School Administration Building. Then tomorrow evening, as we mentioned earlier, it's the Town Council kicking off at 7 o'clock. And
just a reminder, today is day 1 of the big Silver Plate fundraiser in support of the Barnstable Senior Center. It's a great way to help out. You just dine at participating restaurants here in town, and part of the money goes to support the Senior Center.
For the list of the 10 restaurants involved, you can contact the Senior Center or go to the town website and just click on Silver Plate.
Also note the artwork on the poster at the website for the 11th annual Silver Plate. It was created by Jean Davenport, the winner of this year's art competition.
By the way, the Silver Plate fundraiser is in effect through next Tuesday. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Kevin Friel.
We'll meet you right back here tomorrow. I'm Mark Mumford.